Hi guys, welcome to the first part of this week's Coffee and Hero Show, taking you through all of the new graphic novels into the store this week. Some lovely hardcovers, compendiums, trade paperbacks, manga, everything in between as well. So plenty to dig into this week. So we'll kick things off, a couple of smaller editions. So first of all, we have H.P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu. This is a Dark Horse manga, adaptation and artwork by Go Tanabe. From the artist of the Eisner-nominated Lovecraft's At the Mountains of Madness. First published in 1928, The Call of Cthulhu, rendered in chilling detail by modern manga horror master Go Tanabe, is the most famous of all of H.P. Lovecraft's stories and was the namesake of the acclaimed role-playing game system set within the Cthulhu mythos. Next up, we have a new volume this week of Chainsaw Man, as far as volume 16. Again, we don't get loads and loads and loads of manga into the store. We're never going to be a manga store, but we'll always try to get whatever the latest releases are for some of the bigger titles, as people do seem to come to us for them. Next up, on to the graphic novel side of things, we've got What If Venom. This was a 5-issue miniseries, and each issue was What If Venom and a different host each time. So, you know, one of them was with Doctor Strange, one of them was with Loki, one was with She-Hulk, etc., etc. So 5 issues in total for that sort of classic Marvel imprint. Next up, we have Wonder Woman by George Perez. So this is definitely part of the initiative DC have been doing of spotlighting different creators. You know, you had Green Lantern by Jeff Johns, Batman by Grant Morrison, there's Batman by Tom King. So now Wonder Woman by George Perez, always heralded as one of the very best runs on Wonder Woman. So this contains issues 1 to 14, along with bonus material including a who's who of Wonder Woman's world and an art gallery. Back in stock, Something That's Killing the Children, volume 5. So again, this is just a series that it can be hard to keep up to date with in terms of making sure it's always in stock. It just sells so well, but volume 5 back in stock just to plug a gap this week. A big one this week for me, and this is a fantastic series, first of all, but I love, again, the Compendium volumes that Image are continuing to put out. You know, they're such fantastic value. They're always comprehensive. They're always complete. So this was a series called Revival. It went for 47 issues in total, so you're getting the entire series here. Written by Tim Seeley with art by Mike Norton. This contains all 47 issues, plus the free comic book day short story, the crossover with Chew, a Jenny Frisson variant cover gallery, and a peek behind the scenes. The beautiful farm noir that puts a new twist on the zombie genre, now collected for the first time in one complete paperback. As I say, glorious edition, and something that's well in need of a reread. Haven't read it for quite a long time. Next up, we have Sonic the Hedgehog, volumes 1 to 3. So we've been getting more and more Sonic stuff in. Tends to sell well within the store. So this is the first 3 volumes of the current comic series being done by IDW. A big one that I don't know other stores how many of these they'll get in, but I ordered quite a few because A, I'm a big horror fan myself. B, I know a lot of our customers are big horror fans as well, and who's not a fan of Halloween. So this is Halloween Illustrated. In 1978, author Richard Curtis was hired to pen a novelization, an adaptation of the film screenplay into novel form for the hit horror film Halloween. Out of print for over 40 years, this volume reprints the entire original text from that book, along with a new foreword from the author. The complete original manuscript is enhanced with nearly 100 brand new full-color illustrations from famed vector artist Orlando Mexifunk Arocena, bringing an entirely new vision of the classic film vibrantly to life. I mean, Halloween is one of my all-time favorite movies. Carpenter, one of my favorite all-time directors, and you know, that's up there with his masterpieces. The Thing still takes it for me, but just about. But yeah, I made sure to order quite a few of those things. As I say, I think our customer base will really enjoy that. Next up, continuing the Compendium theme, and we have Adventure Time Compendium Volume 1. So they're going to be putting out the adventure. This was printed by Oni Press, so it's not quite the same as the Image stuff, but you know, similar idea. This contains the first 35 issues from the Adventure Time run, from multiple Eisner Award winner Rand North, with artists such as Sheila Paroline and Bryden Lamb, Mike Holmes, Jim Rugg, and many more. So come on, grab your friends and head to distant lands in this first of its kind complete collection of writer Rand North's Eisner winning run of Adventure Time. Back in stock this week is Aliens, The Original Years, Volume 1. So again, part of the epic collections that Marvel have been doing. This contains the first run of the Dark Horse comics, so 1988 to 1990. Aliens 1 to 6, Aliens 1 to 4, Aliens Earth War 1 to 4, and material from Dark Horse Presents. Next up, we have one called Anfield Rad. This is a hardcover, a story of coming of age in 1980s Liverpool. So I'm sure there are quite a few football fans this will appeal to. So a northern fantasy as a character navigates bigotry, sickness, and being true to himself, all against the glorious backdrop of 1980s Liverpool. Connor lives at home with his gran on Anfield Rad. Life is routine. Finn does crispy pancakes for tea, drunk scallies on the way to the footy, and at school it's more like a prison. Connor dreams of getting out, going to art college in London with his girlfriend Marine, but he's terrified of leaving his sick, domineering grandmother behind and striking out on his own. So, yeah. Next up, we have Daredevil, the Modern Era Epic Collection. We're now as far as Volume 3. This is continuing the Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev run. This covers 2002 to 2003 and covers issues 32 to 50. One of the most shocking Daredevil stories ever told. Next up, we have The Deviant. This has been a cracking little horror book from James Tynion IV and Joshua Hickson to do with a killer Santa Claus. It even has the subtitle there, A Christmas Story By. It even has a blurb from Ed Brubaker saying, "It takes your breath away." So this is going to be split into 2 volumes. That's volume 1 out this week. Next up, we have Drawing Blood, the story behind the stories, volume 1, Spilled Ink. The legendary Kevin Eastman, co-creator of TMNT, returns to comics, this time teaming up with critically acclaimed writer and director David Avallone and red hot artist Ben Bishop to take you on a ride on the roller coaster life of a successful comics creator. When you create a global franchise before you turn 20, what happens next? Join the jaw-dropping journey of Shane Bookman, a cartoonist whose real life has become more absurd and action-packed than any comic book story he could dream up. Next up, we have a couple of trades here. We have Edenwood. This is from Tony S. Daniel. This was a 5-issue series, 5-issue fantasy series, drawn and written by Tony Daniel, of course. Pretty great this. I read this in single issues. Swords and sorcery meet horror and sci-fi warfare in an epic tale of human spirit and survival that's not to be missed. And again, coming out from Image Comics, being a volume 1, this is part of that $10 initiative, so £9 for that. Next up, Edge of Spiderverse, Spider Society. So this was a 4-issue volume for Edge of Spiderverse. This collects all 4 issues. Has contributions from the likes of Colin Kelly, Jackson Lanzing, Justina Ireland, Rich Dueck, Alex Segura, Travel Foreman, Pierre Perez, and more and more. Wall crawlers and web slingers, old and new, steal the spotlight. Next up, The Expanse Dragon Tooth, volume 1. So this is a 3-volume series tie-in to the Expanse universe. And again, we've had volume 2 and 3 in the shelves for a while. Volume 1 now back in stock. Definitely one of the big ones this week, although we should have had more copies, but I'm not going to get into it. Extremity, hardcover. Daniel Warren Johnson, Mike Spicer. This is an all-in-one for Daniel Warren Johnson's series. Thea was an artist with a family that loved her, but that was all taken away. Now Thea dreams not of a better life, but of revenge on the clan that attacked her family. Consumed by vengeance and longing to regain what she lost, Thea follows her father down a dark and bloody path, but how far is she willing to go? Experience the landmark series from Eisner Award-winning creator Daniel Warren Johnson that will leave you breathless. Collects all 12 issues in one glorious hardcover. New Daniel Warren Johnson in this store is always a hit, for good reason. Next up, Fantastic Four. We're at volume 4 now for Rand North's run on the title. This covers issues 18 to 22. Rand North continues his ever-surprising run. Franklin Richards has been an immortal, a god, and an omega level mutant, and more. So yeah, Fortune Favors the Fantastic is the byline there. Another one, this was actually out last week, but getting back in stock again, stocking up big time. G.I. Joe, the Real American Hero Massive Compendium. Again, all 50 first issues of the original run of G.I. Joe, all in one volume there. Just a couple more to finish off. We have the Infernals, Volume 1, Family Business. This was by Ram Parrott, and this is the first 5 issues. You've got artist Noah Gardner, writer Noah Gardner, co-writing with Ram Parrott, and artist John J. Pearson. The Infernals maintains a pitch-black sense of humour, summons up some devilishly good action, and hangs it all on a family succession crisis literally from hell for an appallingly fun read. Just 2 more to finish off with. We have back in stock The Complete Mouse, Art Spiegelman, easily one of the most important comics ever written, ever created. The most effective and successful narrative ever done about the Holocaust. We did a book club on this on our podcast a couple of years ago now, which is definitely worth a listen, but certainly I would recommend reading it first. We have The Last Hunt, the Predator miniseries in stock this week as well. Ed Brisson on this one, Francesco Manna on art. Collects all 4 issues, the latest brutal chapter of Marvel's thrilling take on the Predator franchise. And we finish off with another big bad boy, which is Mimetic, the Apocalyptic Trilogy. So this is by James Tynion IV, art by Eric Donovan. I read this years ago. There's no blurb on it, which is always helpful. But what it was there was basically a meme going around the world that if you looked at it, it was a little bit of a take on The Ring, I suppose. If you looked at it, something bad was going to happen to you. And of course, because more and more people talk about it, even though you know the consequences going in, you still had to look at it because everybody else did. It's quite a take on the modern world and social media and meme culture and all that kind of stuff. But it ended up being a trilogy. It was Mimetic, Cognetic, and there was one more which I can't remember off the top of my head. But all 3 of them are in this book, and they've subtitled it the Apocalyptic Trilogy for all 3. So yeah, that is going to do it in terms of new graphic novels in this week. Of course, all going onto the shelves for New Comic Book Day. Check back later, of course, and I'll get the single issues up for what's out this week. Massive thanks for everyone who came in last week. Absolute Batman, Unqualified Success. We just keep selling on that title. We ordered really big on it, so just a little bit of a public service announcement. If you didn't get a copy, come to us. Do not pay over the odds and the secondary market. Do not go on eBay. I've even seen other comic stores charging double cover price, which frankly is disgraceful, but that's their business. They can do what they want, I suppose. But all the issues we have a few on our website as well, if you can't get down to us. But all cover price, all first print cover A's and all bagged and boarded. So anyway, as I say, hope that proved useful. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll look forward to seeing you guys in the store throughout the week. Keep an eye as well later in the week. We'll be dropping a new podcast interview and there may just be a little announcement around that as well. Keep an eye for that, guys. Until then, take it easy.